Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. One in the chat if you can hear me. My mic muted for some reason. I don't know how that happened. Can you all hear me now? Ah, okay. Fantastic. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. First of all, let me just apologize because I had the live set up and then I accidentally hit the start the broadcast button. But I started it too early and I kind of panicked. I should have just I don't know. Because we were meant to start at 7:30, so I was like, "Well, if everybody's expecting 7:30, let me not start too early." But we're here now, and sorry about that. I had to reschedule and restart the live. But hello, hello, hello. Today's going to be a relatively quick one. I want to keep it under an hour. Pamela, you like the opening music and images? Yes, I brought back the dancey music. It just got a little bit dark after that whole thing with the Sussex's security that I just was not in a dancey mood at all. But I feel like we can bring it back now. So I'm glad that you enjoy the music and the imagery. And that's what I wanted really for this year on Duchess of Success. Just really focusing as much on the positive stuff. Yes, we do still have to focus on the drama sometimes, but I wanted to create a light, airy, happy Montecito, sunny California feel. um, Church Nelly, is the bar open yet? uh, yes, Miss Levy, dance away. Joan, dancing in your chair. Hello, 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 everyone. If you're joining us, hello, Annie. I see you there dancing. Hello, Pamela, Batu, Lydia, Julia, Sylvia. Hey, 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 everyone. yeah. Yeah, I need a day off. Nah, I'm good. Do you know what? As long as I have the energy, guys and dolls, I will be here. You know, this is a privilege to get to sit here, do something that I enjoy, have this amazing community, and actually get something from it also, all at the same time. So I see this as a privilege. You know, I'm not out in the fields digging all day for pennies. So I've got nothing to complain about, and as long as I have the energy, I will always make the effort to try and be here. Mm. Yes, Marsha, let's always keep the light because Harry and Meghan are light. So California dreaming. If it wasn't for those taxes, darling, I'd move to California. Then they have like a 50% tax rate or something. Other than that, it has absolutely everything I want, including my faves. Okay, I think everybody is here. Hello, Sarah Johnson from Bristol. The title of the music. So it's actually okay. If you want me to give you the link to the music, I'll give it to you. But it's actually from a Well, I do not. I'll give you the website. It's from a royalty-free music site. Wait, I just got to find it. Not royalty-free music. A lot of YouTubers use this particular website. It's called Incompetech. And okay, so here's the link. It's called Incompetech. And the actual song is called There Are No Sensual. So you can just download it and put it on a desktop and play the full song if you want it. Later on, what I'll do is or maybe at the end, I'll actually get the direct link to the page where the music is on. But yeah, it's just a royalty-free music website. That's where I get the music from. Anna, yes, taxes are very high and property is expensive. Yeah, that much I do know about California. Otherwise, it seems like a very beautiful place to me. Um, let's have a look. Traditionally, California and New York have huge taxes because most of their tax money, 6%, go to those trifling. Okay. Thanks for the info on the American politics. Um, okay, I think everybody is here. All the main culprits are here. So let's get started. I'm going to start by reminding you, if you haven't already, to sign up to BetterUp. Do bear in mind that there are only 100,000 places, and just in case the haters take up half of that, make sure that you get your place. So fully packed day is going to be great, and just a reminder. Also, thank you. Also, Simply Vigo. No, thank you. Like, I'm the one that feels honored. Like, you actually want to be part of my community. So yeah, make sure that you sign up. Oh, does Verano mean sensual summer? Thank you so much for your translation, Chifadilly. Um, okay. So, giving you your reminder about BetterUp. Let's start with, I saw this story that was quite interesting. So there's a portrait of Diana that sold for over $200,000. So just shows even what's it been, 2 decades and a half after her passing away, just how valuable people still see her image. And this particular photograph, it actually went for 10 times higher than what they originally thought it would go for. It's actually an oil canvas painting by the late American artist Nelson Shanks. And you can just see Diana there looking in a very deep state of thought. It was auctioned by Sotheby's, and the painting itself was actually completed, from what I understand, during more than 35 hours of sittings that Diana had around about 1994. So it was originally hung in Kensington Palace, because they all had their portraits, their royal portraits, but it now hangs in her ancestral home at Althorpe. So obviously now it will go to whoever bought it. I don't know who bought it, but there you go. Very beautiful painting, oil painting, and it just shows that Diana's image and name is still worth hundreds of thousands, literally. Hello, if you're just joining us. Margaret, you got a confirmation and already sent email saying look forward to seeing me. Yes, you will get a confirmation email and a link to the actual kind of platform thing that they've set up for it. Let's see what else you're saying. Yeah, Bonnie, she looks beautiful but sad. She really looks like deep in thought in this one. But if she had to actually sit down for this particular painting to be taken, I'm pretty sure that's kind of like a moment where you would be quite deep in thought. What else you're saying? Yeah, simply you can see the royal stress on her face. Like this is a painting of just pure emotion. Pure emotion he got. Hello, Connie. Thank you so much for joining us. So that is that. Also, in the nonce news, so the US judge wants Andrew's ex-assistant to give a testimony at the civil case. Now, this goes back to earlier January. So the claimant's lawyers actually requested to get testimony from one or two key potential witnesses in the UK, the former assistant being one of them. And in the judge's documents, what we actually now know is that the judge wrote to the senior master of the Queen's Bench Division with the aim of having the assistant testify about the Duke's communications with Epstein, and also with Ghislaine Maxwell and Miss Guff, and to find out more about the Duke's travel to Epstein's properties. So this person could end up being a key witness. I don't know why they haven't been called upon sooner, but presumably the firm and the institution were trying to stop this individual from testifying or saying anything. So she could end up being a key witness in this case. To be honest with you, I hope that Virginia does get her justice. But what's frustrating me is that we know that so many other people are involved in this, names that you can't say. People are afraid of saying: former presidents, incredibly wealthy people in tech, other wealthy and protected dignitaries. It's not just Andrew. And that's what's frustrating, I think, a lot of people, is that we want the whole little black book to be gone through, and everybody should be put on that dock and questioned. Okay, let's see what it's saying. Yeah, Aura, they wanted to do the same thing to Meghan. They wanted her to bend, and if she didn't bend, they were going to break her. Thank you so much, Jill. Honestly, I'm still getting used to some of the functions on the back end of StreamYard. There's a lot of actually new features that they added recently, like you can play music in the background and while you're talking, so there's like built-in music. So if you guys actually want music while I'm talking, please do let me know. But we'll get there. I'll be a pro very, very soon. It's because of you, guys and dolls, though, that I'm even able to afford to have the StreamYard, because it does have a monthly cost. So it's like all your donations, they've helped me to get StreamYard. They've helped me to get a new microphone. They've helped me to get the domain name for Duchess of Success. They helped me with the subscription for Canva. So everything you give just goes straight back into the podcast. So thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, we say Joan. I guess unless other ladies come forward and names, Virginia is standing up for herself. Yeah. And we don't know those other people, whether or not they've already been paid off, whether or not they're being silenced. Are they silent or are they being silenced? So I guess time will tell, hopefully. So on to the next thing. So Republic, who are that anti-monarchy group, I've always approached them with a little bit of caution, because in the past they were a little bit shady towards Harry and Meghan, but they've backed off a little bit now. I think they've kind of realised that actually they could have allies in the squad. So I wouldn't necessarily say that they were pro-Sussex now, but since the Sussexes have left, they've definitely backed off. I guess they have no reason to go after them now because they're not in the royal family. But they have actually launched a complaint towards the Met Police for not looking more into the cash for honours situation. So that was the formal complaint that they had launched, and the police has not responded. And so for that reason, they got a little bit shady on Twitter. And when someone, Paul Brand, I don't know who that is, but he basically said on Twitter, he quoted Cressida Dick saying, "We police without fear or favour." And obviously Cressida Dick is the lead commissioner for the Met Police, and she's come under heat for many things. I'll show you on the next slide just a couple of those things, of what a couple of those things are, including the lax investigations surrounding the Christmas parties with all of the politicians when everybody else was told to go into lockdown, and they continue to party and have a good time. And so in response to Paul Brand's tweet, Republic said, yet we're still waiting for them to investigate Charles for cash for honours, and they never did investigate Andrew for accusations of abuse and trafficking. And just looking at the picture on the screen, you can see why maybe they would not have done that investigation, because there is a revolving door between the state and the royals and authority. And here you can see Cressida getting an honour from Charles. She also failed when it came to bringing justice to a VIP P ring, another ring. The storming of Wembley. So this was during the Euros that we recently had, and people were actually able to storm somehow through into an area that should have been high security. And also, you can see the woman at the bottom. This is how the protesters who were protesting the murdered woman were treated. So, a clear conflict of interest. I don't think we should really expect the, or at least on this side of the Atlantic, the situation with Andrew to be looked at in more detail. And the Met have pretty much already shut it down and said they're not looking into it any further. So it's going to be up to our American friends now. And also with the cash for honours, I mean, I thought for a long time that maybe Kensington Palace wanted to try and, use that to tarnish Charles's name. But with her basically being given an honours from Charles, I don't see that cash for honours situation, Charles being given any penalty for that. I just don't think it's going to happen. That will be the day. So that is that. Let's have a look. Roll through your comments. Thank you so much, Crystal. Yes, Ginger, no one should be above the law. But unfortunately, the royals are. Yes, she is 100% compromised. Audrey, why is the song still playing? Is it still playing for you? Maybe you've got echoey walls and it's just echoing off the walls. Anastasia, I wonder how he ended up being friends with Epstein. Probably because he had money. That's my guess. Because I really can't think of any other reason why you'd be friends with such a pervert. Unless you're a perv, of course, yourself. So that also. Epstein had money and he's a perv himself. And pervs of a feather do skanky things together. Anna, PMB is all over the news here in the USA. Wait, who's PMB? Who's PMB, darling? Sorry, I'm not getting that abbreviation. Simply Virgo, people are waking up now and seeing the evil against a couple who has done no harm but only doing good for the needy. Yeah. Marsha, are the Met Police corrupt? Incredibly corrupt. Like, it goes without saying. In fact, the current health minister, who, by the way, is not qualified in the field of health at all, so I don't know how he got that role. His brother is also involved with the police in some way. So they give each other these jobs, they pat each other on the back, and they're not fit for purpose. Yes, Levy, Cressida isn't fit for purpose. She's still in this role because she's just a puppet. Pamela, double standard and hypocrisy. As an American, I watched the On Royals for Diana, followed her sons, and questioned why do the taxpayers subsidize these extremely wealthy people and how much longer? I'm going to do another video on this, on the pathology of royalists and monarchists, because really and truly, if you break it down, it's no different really from a cult. They don't really serve much of a purpose. They take more than they give. but a lot of British people still see the royal family is so closely tied with their identity that I think they struggle to question it, even though there are such obvious problems. And they're able to somehow compartmentalize um, different aspects of the royals. So yeah, Andrew may be a nonce, and um, oh, sorry, Andrew may be a nonce, but it's not the Queen's fault, even though the Queen is clearly protecting him. So they're able to compartmentalize like that. It's very strange. Her last name says it all. Yeah. Yes, Joan. The systems are rigged, and they don't care. They don't care at all. Oh, I just wanted to say before I forget, thank you very much to Miss Dorothy Ross, who gave a very generous donation, but it was through PayPal. It wasn't on the super chat on my last live. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, darling. Um, ever notice how many are named and it's not just the same? Yeah, D Cheney as well. There are plenty of them, it seems. um, Dolores Pris is going off to Harry Meghan in the States now. Oh, is this about? Okay, I think I know what that is about. Is he actually in the States at the moment? Is he not in the UK? Because I don't really follow him unless every now and again he'll come up on my feed. But is he actually in the States now? Because he just got a column with the Sun, so I just thought that he was still in the UK. What's he doing over there? He doesn't even have a job over there. Um, Josephine, British royal family is twisting in the wind. That's a tactic. Overwhelm with information and see what sticks. The unroyals are on the fringes, being still. Who takes the falls? Yeah, anything and everything that they can to distract. But listen, I could go a whole week talking about all other random things. I will still go back to main points. It's just that I don't want to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again, but they're not going to distract us from what's really important. True for Dilly, the awards, honours, etc., they give are for those who get them to become less of a threat. Yes, because you have to bow down, or else they'll come after you. Maggie, I don't live in the UK. Without being told, I know that the Met Police dance to the tunes of the government and the royal family. They are too corrupt, like the royal family, tabloids, media, and trolls in the UK. Yeah. And what's weird is that, if this was happening, say, in an African country, it would make the news a lot more, or people would be talking about it. People would actually be acknowledging the corruption. But what we have is an establishment who are as corrupt as a mafia, but are dressed in suits and um, speak with posh accents. And so people don't always recognize the corruption straight away. Oh, yes, the corruption is not only rife, but it's blatant, absolutely blatant. Oh, it was Matt Sell that introduced. Oh, I guess so, because she's been part of the family for a while, hasn't she? She's basically part of the family. Um, okay. So, what else did I want to mention? The oh, it's taken a while to load. Okay. So the Queen's Jubilee advisor, this fine man over here, is facing bullying claims after staff quit. So there were, let me just grab my notes, sorry. Yes, so this is one of the Queen's top ceremonial aides, who has a key role in the Platinum Jubilee. and um, five individuals, five staff members, have quit since last July when he was appointed and multiple complaints have been filed against him. He holds so his name is David Vines White, and he was appointed Garter Principal King of Arms. I have no idea what that is, but this is how that individual dresses. And it has been the way of dress, as you can see, for quite some time. But once again, more bullying allegations come out of the palace, and no one seems to be as up in arms. Sorry, my phone started ringing. Nobody seems to be as up in arms of this as those fake allegations that have never been proven about Meghan. Okay, simply, you said they are hoarding wealth for your family and well to the peasants. Yeah, they want it all for themselves. They don't give it away. And why did the Speaker in the UK throw MPs out of Parliament when they speak the truth? First it was Dawn Butler, and now Ian Blackford for calling Boris a liar to his face. I don't actually watch Prime Minister's questions because it's just them heckling each other. It's just a waste of my time. But yeah, I have heard of um, people getting kicked out. I think it's more prevalent now since the last Speaker of the House was there. He was much more balanced. The other Speaker of the House, I forget his name, sorry. But this one seems to be a little bit more biased. And some peasants don't mind paying their pounds to Betty. And you know what? I wish that the contribution to the royals was voluntary. And then we'd see who really supports the royals. True for Dilly, it's because there is such a deep acceptance of class in this country. I mean, who else has first and second class? Yes, some people love to be subservient to them. It's very strange. But also, I feel like the royal family, they create this very, that Downton Abbey um, kind of imagery of British culture and British society. And yes, that is a lot of those traditions is true to life, but it doesn't necessarily represent the whole of Britain as a country. And I think people like the fact that we do all this pomp and pageantry, and it's very much a pride for them. So when you attack the royal family, it's like you're attacking that part of their identity that they're very, very proud of. Now, I've always said I don't think that we should erase certain traditions. Things like, say, the trooping of the colour, like we could still have things like that. We just don't have to put the royal family that we have now at the centre of it. We don't have to fund them. And we should definitely hold them as individuals accountable for the wrong things that they have done and everybody in the institution um, have done. So we can keep the traditions. It's just the individual people in that institution and the negative aspects of the institution that we need to get rid of. We can keep everything else that's nice about it. Pamela, I've been following UK news. Is Boris not going to step down? These people really believe the rules don't apply to them. I don't know, Pamela. It's a bit of a circus right now. It's a bit of a circus. I don't know if he's going to step down. I think they're kind of reading the mood and they want to drag things on a bit. See if people, I don't know, maybe forget, forgive, stop caring, or until they can find their next puppet. Because to be honest, as I've said before, I don't think the next person, even if they're from the opposing party, is gonna be any more useful. But that's just me. I have no faith in UK politics at all at this point. Mm. Robin, where is a police department not corrupt? The police is created to protect property, not people. That is true. That is true. To some degree or another, I guess you'd find it in every country, except I don't know of any other country, even in other countries that have monarchies, where literally the future king would give an honor to the head of the police commission. That I don't know. that I've ever seen in any other country. I just find it so interesting that they actually still dress like that, like from all those years ago. It does kind of look like Dolce and Gabbana though, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like one of the Dolce and Gabbana collections? He needs to have it a little bit more fitted and have one of those floral crowns, and then it'll basically be a Dolce and Gabbana outfit. Cynthia, they are a cult. Growing up in the Commonwealth country, I was taught by my parents never to bow to another human, but it was not until Harry's wedding that my eyes were open to this cultist society. Yeah. I had never really, well, actually, no, okay, I lie. After Diana passed away, there was a period where I was quite interested in the boys because yes, there was a time when William was incredibly handsome, a very very long time ago. But that was pretty much the only thing I was interested in when it came to the royal family. The fact that Harry and William were very handsome, and then I didn't really pay any attention to the royals at all. And then William found a wife, and I think most people, regardless of how they feel about the royal family, happy because Diana's boy found a wife, and we're all very happy. She seemed at the time like a girl that came from a somewhat, middle class family, somebody who wasn't from the aristocracy. So it was all very lovely, and it was a lovely day. And after that, it all went quiet because, as we know, uh, Catherine and William didn't really work a whole lot from the time that they were working sorry, from the time they got married and became working royals. And then all these years later, Meghan came along. And that's when I think a lot of people suddenly started paying um, attention again. However, when Meghan came along, this nastiness came with it. And so, yes, I do think a lot of people's eyes have been opened because of what Meghan has been put through. And it hasn't just opened a Pandora's box in terms of now we see that the royal family really have not changed. This institution really has not changed. It's also exposed, and I don't think they expected this, just how problematic and corrupt the relationship between the royals, the press, the police, and the government is. For me personally, I can say as a Brit, it's this situation with Harry and Meghan that has forced me to see it and has enabled me to see it because I didn't see it before. Um, Pamela, for me, it seems increasingly the current younger taxpayers will not continue to pay their betters. No, I mean, why should we? We're facing hikes in national insurance, in taxes. We're facing inflation on goods, on gas and electric prices. So we should have money for this incredibly wealthy family. Doesn't make any sense. At Aura, I think most British are suffering from mental colonialism. They act and speak like robots, even when they're being fooled. Well, it's interesting when you ask a royalist or a monarchist, what is it about the royal family that you like, or like what is it about them that you want to have this family? A lot of the time, you'll get answers like, "Oh, the Queen's service," or "The Queen offers a calming voice." If you want a calming voice, get the Calm app. It costs £30 a month. Why do we have to spend millions a year on the Queen's calming voice? I'm yet to hear a solid answer as to what the royal family actually do. Mm. What is he wearing? I actually listen. I actually think the portrait. See, if you look at the gentleman in the portrait, you can see that the outfit is actually fitted. Like you may make fun of it, right? But if that was on a Dolce and Gabbana runway and it was well fitted and that chain was like proper gold with the rose tiaras that Dolce and Gabbana would do, you would probably buy that, sis. You'd buy it. Like a free dress. Uh, um, Oh gosh, you're lot talking about piss moron still. Listen, piss moron is just gonna insert himself wherever he wants to insert himself. Okay, let me get on to the last point that I was gonna make, and then I'll wrap it up with your comments. So this here you can see are the comments on sorry, from the comment section of the Daily Mail. And this was on an article about Kate and William doing a tour of the Caribbean. Thank you, all of you who let me know that they're doing a tour of the Caribbean at some point this year, because I wouldn't have known. I literally would not have known. But what I find interesting is, so these are some of the best rated comments from the Daily Mail. And we know what Daily Mail readers are usually like. And what I found interesting was that even they can smell the BS. And it would appear that the Daily Mail is not even attempting to censor these comments, because they do this sometimes. They will give hundreds of downvotes to any comments that go against the royals, especially Kate and William. So these comments were in response to an article about Kate and William going to the Caribbean. And I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but I'll read some of them out because they were quite telling. The first one said, or the top rated one at the time, saying, flying with a huge entourage to highlight ecological issues. That's what William Kate that they're going to do. You couldn't make this up. They are defunct ribbon cutters living off the state to the tune of millions. Just do a Zoom call. It's cheaper on the public purse. What absolute hypocrites. And another person saying, the Queen has been shaken by one Caribbean country declaring itself a republic. She fears other islands might follow suit, so she's sending the pair over there to try and persuade all the other islands to remain good little monarchists. I think the Queen should worry more about the plight of poor in the UK, which seems to not bother her at all. Another person saying, nobody's buying it. Another one saying, more countries will abolish the Windsors because of this pointless jolly. And then this one I just found so hilarious. So if they're focusing on ecological issues, I presume they're going to swim over there. Another one saying, so they will fly to talk to the locals about ecological issues. Hypocrisy at its finest. And the last one saying, who are they going to charm and why? More islanders will dump the useless Commonwealth. And I was surprised to see this from Daily Mail commentators actually speaking the truth. And it does make me wonder, to what extent are Daily Mail comments often fake, automated, Daily Mail staff? Because this is actually the first time in a long time that I'm seeing actual truth in the comment section of the Daily Mail. Piccadilly, the police are the government's hands. Yeah, they do what they want with them. They shouldn't be able to, because we're meant to live in a democracy. But let's be honest, Britain is turning it into a dictatorship. Bojo the Clown, just like Orange. Yeah. Yes, Julia, they will give out scones because they think they're wonderful. They are not. Rock, they have enough money to live together in that insulated bubble. Charles Property Lands and several other businesses enough to carry on a class structure version all by themselves. Yeah, and that's what a lot of the other royals do, so that they're not, other royals in other countries do, so they're not a huge burden on the public purse. Sherry, Newsweek is commenting about he's trying to persuade the American public to turn on Meghan. Well, I feel like at this point, anybody who's not a fan of Meghan is not a fan of Meghan, and she has a strong fan base. So I don't really think there's anyone that he can turn at this point. Whoever doesn't like her at this point just doesn't like her. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to do, because America rejected him when he was on CNN. He was given one of the biggest platforms in America. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to do. He flopped the first time, he's going to flop the second. Yes, simply, everyone was happy for William and Kate marriage, but after the treatment of Meghan, plenty just don't trust them anymore. I tell you, their visit to the States and certainly to the Caribbean is going to be interesting because they haven't really apologized for what was done to Meghan. And it will just be interesting to see if they're given an easy time, or if this is the first time where we'll actually see people push back, maybe see people protest. Um, it'll be interesting to see how the Cambridges themselves handle this because this is going to be a very high pressure trip, both the trip to the Caribbean and the US. I foresee masks falling on this trip. Like, do you remember all those pictures of, Diana just looking absolutely miserable and sad and just lost on some of her last engagements with Charles when the marriage was really, really breaking down? Like, I wonder if we'll just get a repeat of history. You let lady, I don't understand why William and Kate were allowed to settle in their marriage. Yeah, and they were allowed to settle for over a decade. And Harry and Meghan were not given that opportunity. It's definitely not fair. Pamela, I was a history minor. Oh, that's cool. I enjoy British history and current events, but once you open the Pandora's box and pull out bullying, everyone will get hit. Yeah. HRH, the nearer Harry's court case against the British media, the worse the media attacks will be. Disgraceful behaviour. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but let's brace ourselves. We'll get through it like we've got through everything else. Just go back to my meditation video anytime you're feeling stressed and just breathe and meditate. Yeah, Crystal, they never wanted Harry to have a life of his own. Okay, I just realized that I did have one more slide, but it has not loaded properly. So we're just gonna go to that and then we will call it a day if I can find it. Aha, here it is. So I believe that this was actually some kind of PR stunt on Carol Middleton's part, but she wants the PR, so I'm going to give her the PR and we're going to have a discussion about this. So we all know that Carol Middleton owns the business Party Pieces. And as part of their, I guess, Jubilee collection, they were selling these cupcake toppers with the phrase "let them eat cake." Now, rightly or wrongly, because there are historians that argue about this, whether or not she actually said it, but this is a term that is often attributed to Mary Antoinette. And when I think it was one of her advisors supposedly said to her, the peasants don't have bread, and she said, "Well, let them eat cake." And it's often used to describe how elitists cannot relate to the lives of everyday people. So, somewhat tone deaf, perhaps done on purpose just to ruffle some feathers and get Party Pieces in the news. But what I found interesting about this was there was a quote from a royal biographer that said, "I don't think the Queen will be annoyed about it. How do you know?" She has a sense of humour, and the Queen is very fond of Kate. They had to let us know that the Queen is very fond of Kate. So I think what this shows is I've suspected, I think a lot of people have suspected for some time, that Middletons do have their hand in a lot of the royal propaganda and that they do have mouthpieces in the British press. And it's going to be interesting to see how this develops as time goes on, especially after the Queen passes. But that was the last thing that I wanted to mention. So I'll just go through your comment as usual, and then we'll call it an evening. Hey Castillo, I've asked quite a few royalists about the British royal family, and none could give me a solid response on why the institution is needed. You will never get one. And on the subject of service, if you asked me as a British citizen who serves me, I can tell you very clearly the teachers that educated me, the doctors and nurses that helped to keep me healthy, the blue collar workers that keep our public transport running, our streets clean. I can tell you exactly who serves the British public and how. But when it comes to the royal family, nobody ever has a clear answer, but they go on and on and on about service. Hmm. The yes, true for Dilly. The comment about the Freemasons got me too. I just didn't want to be accused of being a conspiracy theorist, so I missed it out. But seeing as you mentioned it and saw it as well, we can laugh about it. Mm. Being the Danish and Swedish royals are so much better than the British. They are not afraid to mingle with people. Kate cannot compare to Princess Mary of Denmark. I'm definitely going to do more videos on the other royals as the year goes on. Dale, these people think they're gods. They don't have feeling. They don't have a feel for nothing. I think they had a feel for something. It should have been Harry. That what they're doing to Harry and his family is wrong. It's wrong. It's dangerous. It's spiteful. It's Pamela. D&G winter season. That is what I honestly thought when I saw that outfit. Gosh, somebody's trying to ring me. Not now, y'all. I'm on a podcast. Okay. Dolores, Charles didn't well on his last out. Oh, he didn't look well on his last outing. People were talking about he looked really sick. Well, he was falling asleep, wasn't he? So that's probably why they're going to start making Kate and William do more overseas trips. Because in his old age, he just can't be hopping around everywhere. Because isn't William even going to the UAE? So Anna, they are going to the Caribbean not to work but to cut ribbons and vacation so they can get that tan going so Kate can start looking more like M. Oi. Sylvia, Duchess of Success is interesting that Daily Bug caught the comment. I thought it was interesting as well, which is why I felt to mention it, because usually the Daily File comments, I believe, are quite highly manipulated. Rock, for a time, UK waters overflowing with sewage and filth. Well, they allowed sewage to be thrown into the rivers. It's awful. Hey, Patricia, you're at work. Thank you for listening. A year or so, Charles was doing a tour around the world. Did he ever complete the tour to the Commonwealth? I don't even know what that tour was, to be honest with you. So if he was, it seems like he didn't complete it. See, Matt, just able to tune in. Imagine people expecting me to work during business hours today. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Prince Harry would have done magic if he was still part of the, or if he was still a working member of the royal family. But they've messed up. I mean, what are they going to do? How are they going to talk to people of color when the only member of their family was treated the way she was? You know, I do wonder if journalists are going to get brave, because this will be the first time that they are outside of the UK where gagging orders don't have any power. It's going to be a very interesting year. Dale, the firm should stop buying those bots. Maybe they would have money for those charities they can't afford. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they wouldn't even give, even if they gave like what, 5% of their overall earnings, that would still be a lot of money. That's unbelievable greed. Yes, Pig Moron is not going to pull the stunt that he pulls um, in the US as he pulls in the UK because he's tried to pull it once already and it didn't work. It's not going to work second time. Okay. Okay, I think we have a troll blocked. Sharon Osbourne got herself fired because of Pigmoron, so he can't spill his hate about Meghan or the talk show anymore. America wasn't having him. Yeah, it's a very, very desperate attempt because he knows this court case with him and Rebecca Brooks and Rupert Murdoch is coming up, so that they're going to try anything and everything. And what does it say that I don't even think any right wing channels have had him on? Like, has he even been on Fox? Like, when your own don't want you, that's how you know you're a failure. Because if he is in the US, like, wouldn't he have already been on Fox by now? Uh, HRH, they may not get a good reception in the Caribbean. I hope they don't, to be honest. I hope they don't. I mean, I know that the people will be respectful, but you can still protest and have your feelings be known in a respectful way. And I don't think that they should hold back from speaking about how they really feel about the royals. Choice. Will and Kate should stay at home and do what they normally do. Nothing. Is the only thing they do well. The faux working hard is just sad. Oh, and haven't they been working hard though? Um, what did we have towards the end of last year? We had people holding spiders, holding snakes, petting goats, playing tennis with Emma Raducanu. We had sparkly dresses. I mean, they just pulled out everything. It's been non-stop. Faya, this may have been written to gauge whether Copy, Kate, and Egghead are welcome and loved in the Caribbean. Based on the reactions they get from the public, they seek popularity for the KP. Yeah, that's true. They could have been written to gauge whether or not they're welcome. But those comments weren't. It didn't seem like those comments were from people from the Caribbean. They looked like they were from British people who were given their opinion on it. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal J, for the super sticker. Happy Tuesday. Mm. Yeah, Dale, William and Kate can't fix one thing because they haven't built one thing, not by themselves. And everything they touch seems to just go to the wayside. You know, two of Kate's charities shutting down, one of them calling her out in person, over that Zoom call, saying that she hadn't visited them for 8 years. The childhood development thingy majig questionnaire. I mean, like, where has that even gone? What impact has that created? Absolutely none. Okay, I'm just trying to get through your comments. Ooh. The bar is closed. Annie, the bar is closed. The bar is always open. Mm. Pamela, what happens when the KP couple aren't popular? The media has to have a story. Yeah. If you're not bringing them the clicks like Harry and Meghan do, they'll just make sure that they get drama and scandal. There's one thing that sells almost as much or even more than hate is drama and scandal. And certainly, if the drama about William's love of running through rose bushes and watering them comes out, that is going to play out for the longest time. Can you imagine the number of headlines, the story coming out, the impending divorce, the actual divorce? Will he marry the new woman? I mean, you can already see it all because we've experienced it before with Charles and Diana. It's just going to be a whole repeat of that. Mm. Yes, Joan, I think Oprah interviewing the Sussexes about their treatment woke a lot of people around the world up beyond Great Britain. Yeah. I mean, that interview went around the world. Doris, I hope these Commonwealth nations open their eyes. I think their eyes are open. They just have to be vocal now. They've opened their eyes, they need to open their mouths. And this is all also coming off the back of the Black Lives Matter movement. So it will be interesting to see what type of reaction they get. Okay, I think I'm almost at the bottom of your comments. Sonia, what is the purpose of the trip? They need all the funds for the people and not to pay for their security. Enough of the cutting ribbons. Ask them not to visit. Well, they need to hang on to the Caribbean, don't they? So, I mean, they don't even have to go there. All they have to do, if they want the Caribbean nations to stay, just apologize to Meghan, right? Apologize to Meghan. Apologize for their ills. Stop raping and pillaging nations for their resources, and that would be it. Actually, be collaborators with these countries. Stop acting like colonists. That's all they have to do. You don't have to have a whole trip. Ginger, what is wrong with Charles' fingers always swollen? Yeah, he clearly has some kind of condition. I don't know what it is though. Mm. Okay, I think I'm gonna let someone have the final word. Who's gonna have the final word today? Mm-mm-mm. One more time, guys, before we go out, don't forget to sign up to Better Up. If you haven't already, let's show up and show out for Harry and Serena. Who's gonna have the last word? Sorry, Pamela. Carol doesn't know what she's doing with this quote. What it's implying doesn't bode well for an aristocracy or monarchy. Yeah, because the Queen, like, how would they get a quote like that? It's clearly been planted. I honestly think that the trip to the US or the trip to the Caribbean is going to produce a lot of memes and a lot of TikToks because I can just see something happening and it's not going to go too well. Let's see who's going to get the final word. Let's exit with something nice. Deeper Jelly, how my brothers and sisters run them royal family ras home. Joseph, the We're Not Racist tour. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if like Catherine got cornrows? As for the fact that the countries are visiting have to pay for the security is ridiculous. Really? They have to pay for it? Gosh. Um, Mona, when will an investigative reporter write about Meghan's treatment by the royals? I'm sure someone will. Sometime earlier last year, Ronan Farrow actually liked a tweet from a squad. Well, it was a tweet that was part of a wider thread. Like, it was a very detailed breakdown of the smear campaign. The squaddy had done a whole thread about it, and I believe that he liked the tweet. So I do think there's some journalists who are looking into this, and if anyone is going to break that story and is going to be able to break that story with impact, it's going to be Ronan Farrow. I'm still holding out for Ronan Farrow because he did Harvey Weinstein good. Him and his colleagues, sorry, not to dismiss the two women who were also part of bringing down Harvey Weinstein. They did such a good job with that I feel like it would take a journalist like him to really go deep. Robin, 500 watching. Well, it's 600 now. Happy Tuesday, everyone who's joined. Yes, please, thumbs up. We are about to end, but thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Oh, thank you, Connie. Oh, yes. Well, I'll let you have the final word of the day, Annie. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I am laughing in love, giving hugs, dancing, and drinking. Sounds like you're having a great time. All right, everyone. I believe I scheduled a live for tomorrow, and that was the thing that I wanted to do. Sorry that I keep moving that live. But I may move it again to next Wednesday. Do forgive me. I think tomorrow I'll just have pre-recorded podcasts. We'll move that live to like next Wednesday. Ralph, will I ever interview Christopher Boozy? I will message him at some point and ask and see how that goes. I just haven't had the time to, because February is actually going to be a very, very busy month for me, as well as my usual work that I have to do. I'm trying to do this podcast. I'm also trying to finish the first draft of my next book. So if I do interview him, I might not have the time to do it this month, but I will ask. All right, that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you in the next live. Bye-bye.